about it.
Okay, not December, but
I think this has to be handed in like.
I kept them on. I was like, wait, I think I'm gonna see real quick. I can see these. Yeah, they had it in years or something. Is anyone in the bathroom? Yeah, you need mine. Okay, I told her I tell your Jordy thing, you gotta do the bell. It's not gonna be December, but you gotta pull it out.
And well, see, the hard thing is that they can't call me out. So, I mean, whatever they actually do when they first talk to you, that's all they have. Have you been down to the, everything that's down there? I took the walk. Too creepy. Down in that area, like that specific area. It's a weird area. Well, it's a weird area. I fell like 3 times.
There's a second kind of big crowd because on Sunday I had taken a picture of the person that found his body. Yeah, I was there just I go there all the time. We would walk down. We walk to the right and we walk through like cut kind of and we go through that big road and it comes out all the time.
That's what I was saying.
Well, that he walks in the center of the road.
To the right. I didn't know that. Because I was going to say we went to the big field in the middle.
Yeah, I go there. I go to that big one. I go to the township. And I go there for a regular.
You can see the dog. It was weird. I went down there, but you could see the dog park. And I see a nice cherry though.
I said that when I was just like, so they were also like, the mark of how that you walk with the that shit. I get the two different on some point I go to the left and go around and I go to the shoot side and I go to Cooper. Or I go around the edge and I go to this side. I said sometimes we show on the mom and then down and go back and the expert on how we marketing expert we show on
Did you go down and like see that for yourself? Is that longing committee? Well, I think it's sort of a lawyer. I think their lawyer take you down there and make a walk. That's how for us.
Yeah, certainly, but I won't. But that's somebody told me doing my every investigation with family members. I really don't want to go into Australia next. And that's one thing when we were there. We left whoever we went to my apartment. Because first we were at my apartment, me and my apartment, and then we went to the river. When we came back to my apartment, we were
Yeah, searching.
then, just like last week, they had another information, so it should have put all that to do out there. I didn't get my own to see that, and I just figured it out.
Like one time from my own 2-2-story, I like I'm really trying to, you know, how I like my CSI stuff, I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened, and it's just fucking...
They were trying to figure out the intention, whether you take a second, you detectives are doing all the basic work, and they can't figure out what is brainstorming to do.
Yeah, so I don't brainstorm much often.
So, scenarios are possible, that could be different.
Yes and no. I think there's...
And I don't know how you're not supposed to say that when I go up and tell you everything that you would want. I never said that. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll be able to say that I know the police part of the very locked in the morning, and when I went up in the morning, there's these looking, the doors are locked.
They were locked, so...
Yeah, it's not true. And I never...
What were they unlocked in the morning?
Yeah.
Did you lock them before you went? Did you guys think about it?
She locked the front door and I couldn't really do anything.
So we have like a full... What do you have like the
Red Bull and
That's what I do.
But the door was broken a lot of times. You could just break in because we hadn't used the deadbolt anyway.
Yeah.
And the top door was very, very locked, so I wasn't even sure it was locked and it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
It's even unlocking about how to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to read out because they're saying that the door was still locked in the morning when I heard it.
Well, that's not a Yeah.
Reference on the other solution, I
don't look at the articles, I read them, and I don't read them, and I was like legitimate updates, I don't read this.
just thought
I try to do all the time. Yeah, well, it's harder for you because you're the one. It's a lot. Both of our situations are completely different. But, do we want we're still taking, that's good though. I'm back to work, I'm in the office, so I work with my hands, so it's a lot. There is one I had a question. Yours when you were writing articles for the voice, did you read that? Did he have a bowl of chips before that?
There's a bowl of chips on the book.
For their phone up, and then there was, why does he state that he thinks that he wasn't found in the same pajamas he was wearing? No, but your lawyer stated that.
I know, my lawyer said to me, what my lawyer said to me was just like, well, when someone has a thermia, the last thing they kind of thermia is you get really hot and you start taking the cortisol.
But he's a kid.
So yeah, and maybe got really hot and started taking the cortisol.
Where?
And then
then he wouldn't get another, he wouldn't be able to fully dress himself, he doesn't even know how to look shirt on.
well, I think that it'll be probably a challenge for us. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Are you saying all these things?
No, because it's just like anything else, when you hear anything crazy going on, you don't hear anything crazy being released, they don't release it, it's because
I don't know what to think about the guy struggling kind of these kind of
no, that way, it was about the shoulder. People are going to say things, think things, call them things, and all that kind of crazy stuff.
She's playful, like I know her very much, she's like really, she doesn't see that, but she's like short, but I don't know, yeah, they're up there, she's making stuff like this, so it's off on the air, she's like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what she was saying, she's like, yeah, how she was doing, she's respectful, and it's like, you know,
How often was she around? Again, brilliant.
not very often, no.
No.
You like to play them, but it's going to be,
She never walked in.
not too bad, it's changing what you want to do. So then we had the outro Monday morning, and then I was talking to him as usual. I was going to say, he was a deal with the
Yeah.
he was listening for one of the benefits, and she could only pass it, I don't know.
Well, not a little bit.
And I'm so upset that he didn't have like no shit.
Well, I know. Did he finish study that night?
It's so many people now. Much of that hospital.
Because I know he was covered in red ID. Well, remember when I put him in the truck, he had, I know that stuff stinks, I know he had cancer and everything, but he didn't finish the ID. In my head, it's just the roughest thing just about to come to.
I think that I don't think it's really like what's really fucking yeah, business like.
I mean, it's hard for me to kind of deep down. It's not something that I can't see you doing that. And, it's just, it's hard because I do have family and there's, it's basically one of two choices. It's some, I don't know.
I could deal with me as something I'm really and I think I'm going to work with the family that did, and she was on the college already, and I think that's what the fuck did I?
The scary part is that I run away in this journey.
That's what I'm doing every day. And I'm a career for him, and also everyone in the industry, and I was going to be lookout for like in the mountain forever. People my name. I'm literally people my name. The first thing I off of this website, my TV, and you make that and
No, did you hear anything at all? Wake up? Nothing?
I remember I ran into the early on and
Well, that's not necessary.
yeah, but it was so bad. He didn't get out of on the bed way down. He had to go water again, 50 bucks. He had 50 bucks to bed with him. He didn't want the pillows. I put the pillows on the side and he left my phone. I went back to his room and kept crying when he wanted to eat. So again, I was on his sleep. Then I ran to go back now. I'm not sure that's
Do not understand. Did you was your bedroom door locked? Or was it unlocked?
whatever he is in the past, and
You usually do.
unless he was still inside the screen, sometimes it's somewhere somewhere upstairs.
Yeah, like at my house, it's all he does too. Coming to walk into your room to get to his room, you have to go to my room.
Like whenever you're just screaming, I always wake up and hear it.
Yeah.
It's like I really hear someone wake up, and I didn't wake up all night. I woke up to the right, I go to the bathroom, and there was like little people up in the apartment, so actually I went under to check out the outside, and they took the tag off, so we had like something to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it was just me up on the outside.
You call your mom. I know your mom was there. I don't know what time you called 911.
The first thing I did was, well, the time was, the go-to, I called my mom, and I said, I looked around and I woke up, I figured out everything, I went to the apartment, so I ran outside, I woke up people, and I woke up again, and we didn't call my mom, I don't have to worry about it, I woke up and she was like, calling me, I called her,
Your mom came down the street.
yeah, so all my grandma, so 911, 602, and this is my mom, 602, and my mom, 602, but they were both in the same minute. Then your phone call was 602 or 604.
Yeah, I know, I remember it took me about 45 times. I went downstairs to see all the time. You called me 6 times all the time I arrived. I don't have access to your appointment. If any friends that you have over that know anyone or anybody that comes to your house.
I always used to laugh out loud in the apartment, like when I was like, I'm usually there.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to do whatever, and then we can talk for it. I usually don't hang out with my friends out in front, but usually we go out, like we usually go to a bar or something.
Yeah. She says, which one was that? What's her name again? Yeah, does she have a case? No.
But
Did she live in the dorm in there?
yeah, she was in a dorm, and I've been to her dorm, literally, there's security guards to get in the room.
Yeah, you're in the dorm with
Yeah, they're popping it out every time you walk in and out of school. And they had a report showing she did leave. Because I was there, like last week, I was there, and I turned into a dorm, I was like, when they took me out of the police station, the cop I bring back to the day.
Why did you the police station there?
You were doing the search when I took
Oh, so you didn't have it for like 2 weeks?
no, so my daughter told me my mind I was staring at the hospital. They wouldn't even let me in the door with it. Like not even like yes or allowed in there, not ID. You have to like get something and it's very serious stuff. And it's because it's New York, it's like right off like some stations for going. And I said like they knew she was like in school and her roommates both gave the alibi that she was there that night and she had a test in the morning. And plus she didn't have a card on there. The only way she
Does she have a card?
she has a card piece of her parents house.
Is that New Jersey?
Pennsylvania.
So she's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
How did you meet her? Sorry.
It was supposed to be just like a summer fling, but she was going to go to Europe, but it was just like never ended. And the only way for her to get down, she knows how to get down here. So we got she's gotten down here by herself before from the train to the subway, to the pack up, to the station, so they would do it. But apparently the police this morning I got the store on that that he was doing, they kept doing that with cameras, and they viewed him multiple times, and they were like interested in putting the other one on camera.
I haven't heard about that.
The people that you never meet and why didn't do this, or the fact that it's just like all over the internet and everyone's accusing me and like all that, it's just like it's hard to see, like I try to like hide and keep to myself, but I don't want to be able to broadcast it out there.
Yeah.
I think it's baby killer.
Yeah. But if I'm not saying I think that way, but I mean there are other people that do. It's just looking from the outside, it doesn't look.
Yeah, like a lot of coincidences that
And well, not even that, and this includes.
yeah.
It's just, there's no eyewitnesses, there's no nothing. He was put at the lake. Sorry,
He was put there.
I walked that. I walked the trail down. I almost fell twice.
And he walked from Cooper from my apartment to Cooper. It's not, I mean, it's a decent walk.
No, I walked from the memorial down to where, because there's a memorial where he was, and so it's like, you go through like a little area, you just keep going to your right, and it's like, there's like a slope down, but I was wearing, I forget what shoes I was wearing, but I almost fell, and I'm like going down there, I just had the eerie feeling in my stomach. I'm like, there's just no way that he would have.
I mean, I've walked through Edison Road at like 3 o'clock in the morning before, and both times
I can't say that far.
and I've never seen anyone back there, but who knows, maybe there was some kind of force, maybe he did that, and there was some kind of weird on the roof that night, and found him near there.
I don't know. See, that's the only thing I can't see that. It's either someone took him and brought him there in my head, and I can't come to the fact that you would do anything, but
It was definitely,
and I'm just running, like I'm running like your night before over and over and over and over again in my head, and it's a tough realization because I wasn't there.
Well, we literally read the visual on the lower X, and I laid him down. We went to bed, and he mumbled for a little bit while I was getting in bed, but I can't sleep. keys to my apartment. I don't even have them. I leave them in the apartment. I would just break in every time I went to my apartment. Literally.
You can break in the front door?
That's how I always got in. I never even had my keys.
That's terrible.
It's literally that easy to break into that apartment. It's not safe. Whenever we were talking about maybe looking at people like it too after all the people everywhere. Like looking at like doing the landlords and looking at not secure place or...
You'd have to get the doors inspected right away for it to be proof of the fact that they are faulty.
Because on both doors, only the deadbolt is locked. On both of the doors, the bottom handle locks to get it.
And a deadbolt you can't open from the other.
Well, unless you have the key.
Yeah, unless you have the key. I mean, the unit across yours was vacant down there.
Like I gotta pick that up or something.
Were there any creepy people that lived downstairs?
You know, the guy really did. He's kind of a weird dude. Yeah, he's not.
Is that the one he's at the corner?
No, he's like next to the right. You're standing looking at my door. He's to the right.
Oh, okay.
He's that one 30-year-old dorky guy. He's just like just already older dude. Then there's the guy on the other side who always is all that ledge smoking a cigarette. Just stupid. And the rest of people was that blonde girl from Hyde Township. She was right below us. Anna, just Sally.
I know who she's talking about. My mom's friend, she knows her ex-boyfriend. They had the apartment together, and he left, and she was there.
Yeah, and her cousin was in the apartment too.
I remember it. My mom's telling me a weird story about the girl that you're talking about. She lives by herself.
I think so. I like, because one time me and Tika saw it was like really late at night, we were like coming with the movie traffic, and they were sitting outside, and we were like, hey, and we were like having a conversation with them, I was like, you know, kids were from over here.
Yeah, well, one of my mom's good friends, like one of Jonah's football friends' moms, apparently she knew the boyfriend who lived with her, or apparently he stopped living there like early summer, and I guess, he told her a really weird story. I'm like, what? Did they live across from you, or?
I think they lived on, like, the top floor on the other side.
They said that when you weren't home, I don't know, when did you stop seeing Bridget? Like April, May?
I moved into that place in April, so probably around May, yeah.
I remember they said something about, and I don't know whether she meant like June or May. She remembered, I don't know if they how they knew you were home or if she was just making it up. She said she heard someone like yelling at her there. A female. I don't know either. If that was, through the grapevine, and what people say.
And she's watching there once or twice, Bridget, she's watching for the, like,
yeah.
And I never yelled much in that apartment because they're so close together and you can hear everybody, so I never really yelled much there.
Yeah. So it could be a while till we find out.
Yeah. There's still my anxiety at all. I look at Dr. Vinny every day, he's like trying to, he's like, we're gonna start getting you off the chronic and you're not going to antidepressants. I don't want to take antidepressants. Maybe that's what I perform in the brain and shit.
What's the difference between the bonds? Is it anxiety? Antidepressants, I don't know.
Antidepressants are like for long. They start like changing the chemical format of your brain and making you think differently. They're giving you more serotonin.
I think so.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to start like, because I'm not normally a depressed person. I know we're never going to right now.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I don't know if I'm going to come out of it or not.
That's pretty much the thing. Well, I mean, you got to think of it whether you get closure or not. What happened, it's not going to, it's as terrible as it sounds in why I don't talk much or anything, but like I think about it, nothing's going to change. But anyway, closure will help, but it's not
change the fact of what happened. And that's just the hardest part because it remains a mystery.
No, he's not here anymore. There was like so much experience with him, so much I still want to do with him, so much I thought we still had to look forward to. And, like, it's just hard to like, he literally, like, my whole life was based around him. I did everything for him. Like, I worked and had a department for him, like, make sure, like, I don't know, like, I was trying to work extra hard and try the money for his daycare. I was just doing everything for him.
Yeah.
And, like, my life is just focused on, like, you know, making it, like, just, like, having a family. And it's, like, whether finding somebody new, a family, and recreate a family, but have all the time to be part of it, or, like,
Yeah.
that's what we'll do right now.
To me, it just doesn't feel right what happened. That's just the worst part. Because even me, I was just like, I would even feel so much better if it was an accident day when something happened. And I got that phone call. Or if it was an accident. Or if it was anything else. That would be better. It's just hard for me to even. And I feel like I would eventually resent you. Like, and not that means I'm not like that. So it's just, you know, just a bad way of saying it. Just, if you think too much, then you
There's something that could have been different.
not that. It's just freaky for me as a mother that it wasn't in my hands. It was in someone else's hands.
And, you know, or just for me, that was up in my hand. I absolutely like what happened. It was just a normal night. There was nothing weird about that night. It was literally just a normal night. We were going to wake up in the morning, go to school, then I was going to go to work. My clothes were just standing there ready to go in the morning. And I didn't think anything else of the night.
Did you notice that I noticed that because I before your mom came over and everything being moved, did you notice anything moved, anything different, anything like, I don't know, because I know they grabbed the slipper for the dog.
Yeah, the slippers were on the floor where he put them before he went to bed. And the people said, well, when I was working, my bill was on the floor, and the people was on the floor.
But that's a single one that moved. Someone where you thought it was, that's just out there. Everything out of the ordinary.
Everything seemed normal. The other thing that can make the most sense in my head is that he got out, he wandered out of the bed, closed his eyes, got scared, and he didn't know where to go. He started wandering around, crying, and somebody came, the wrong person came across him. That's really the only thing I can think that makes sense in my head.
You know, when you see that move, I'm so scared of that. I'm like, when I happened to grab him very close to the house. Because I know him, I have to keep a light on in my room because door crack.
Yeah.
In his room for us.
That's the part I absolutely cannot wrap my head around. Somebody else, how can you call her that can you think
Well, that is a really hard time to break in, but if you can work in your house, then that can't be a time to break in. If it's that easy.
And if you ever slept in the dark that night, I turned on the light, but Peter was telling me, you're not leave the light on, now you're fine, and then after a while I thought maybe I sleep.
Yeah, I'm, you know me, when we get together, I always say, something and not have with someone, but it's still, even to this day, it's still hard, I always leave the light on, and that's one thing I did, I thought it was like,
I actually didn't really have on the video that I had with coming, but it's still nothing but 2 words back and forth because of times that happened, but there's a similar scenario with a kid like when I was over that room and I got to talk to my great grandfather and like I didn't even know it, but like I realized later from the pictures of the great I didn't want to say it.
No, but how did it happen?
Well, in like out there like in the room with us. Well, I guess that would be a question. But I'm saying very familiar.
After the room?
Yeah, that little room.
Yeah, no, but did that happen with his, in that I mean his first room that happened?
It's weird, I don't know how to explain the state of you. It's not like a dream, but it's like not reality.
What was said?
The first time, it was just like, no, that's not like, yeah, that's like what we used to say to each other. And then the second time, we just said, that was the only thing we said to each other. Not the kind of situation where we can like have a conversation, like asking things, but he was there, I did kind of think.
No, physically, because it's not like we had conversations about this before we stopped talking about it.
I don't talk to anybody.
No, I mean, it's part of you talk to me about it, but then once you start seeing it, it was kind of just,
I don't want to be part of it. I want to keep it hidden. I want to keep it like not.
even still.
Yeah, that's it. Even I don't want to talk to anybody about it now, but I have something several times.
That's what I want to know. I don't know what they're trying to do.
I really kind of do something personal in my things that I have to through. I mean, when I say, things stuff like DMT, like time doesn't exist, but like, my experiences with probably the worst for probably in the second, where he is, it's like a second to where the 100 years worth of work here, like by the time we die along, you have stuff on every day, and like there's so many things for having.
That's what I'm going to talk about. Exactly what happened. That's not comment.
Yeah, it's baseline, opinion on about something, just such a
Some of the questions I want to do are the law.
Like, the whole stuff in me is what's that stuff. It was really sleeping, and it was what happened, like, I woke up and it was just like, I just didn't continue to call it, like, we're going to move forward with that, I think. Okay, something else, yeah. Something that it's still in the world, because they have 3 universities. There is also, as I said, I've been in other big hospitals like that. There's like a whole bunch around. like literally, they had everything. I feel like if they had anything technical, they would already have been charged.
What did they ask you to form up?
They got her that night to get asking me about my relationship with Julie, and then they're asking about our relationship, and then like asked about if me like this whole weekend, and like they get like come up with different times that we have to go through it the same every time. And then later on, they started really counting me. They started, you did this, or you put this on my list, you're lying to us, you're deceiving us, you've been deceiving us this whole time. He's like, I'm like, I'm not lying to you guys, I'm telling you the truth. He's like, no, but you are. He's like, you did these. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not a lawyer. So that's hard.
And I feel like my lawyer and the prosecutor's officer are fighting. See, my lawyer got pissed off because I was bad shit about the prosecutor.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Because he was really pissed off.
They don't.
Well, because
they can't release
the prosecutor told my lawyer that they would find out about the toxicology report from the prosecutor, not from the media. And they said that no, they got it in the media. And then they got really pissed off. And then they got really pissed off how they pulled this whole grand jury thing from Sarah. They were very party.
the lawyer.
She didn't, well, they gave her a lawyer when we applied for that jury. But they said, into this time, it's like hard going, they don't like the way they're going into there and start fighting. They talk about the prosecutor's office and it's like a lot of politics.
Yeah, well, I think from the beginning that they weren't able to, like, everyone together now, they can't ask you questions, so that's the only way to ask questions is to go to the grand jury. Because when you have a lawyer, you can't just call you on the phone and be like, hey, let me ask you a question.
And the jury found the next subpoena. Literally, if there was a court, every question I asked her, she said, actually, just said, even when I said, what's your name? She said, actually, just said, she would say nothing.
But why not? But see, that just looks bad. But that's why the media, that's why though, because even in my eye standpoint, there's no point of anyone else having a lawyer because yes, I can understand the standpoint and I cannot understand the standpoint.
Well, the reason Julie has a lawyer is...
no, I'm just talking about family.
Yeah. Well, actually, it is different as well, because that's where my mistake was. When I turned down the lawyer, because you don't... There's a lot of people where you're 100% also where they're 100% guilty, you get a lawyer because they manipulate, they twist stuff around, and they will try to... And you don't know why it's just like a whole other language. The lawyer talks and says you gotta get somebody professional to have to do all the legal work of it and take the legal end. And then my lawyer, they called Julie that question. She was going to go down and answer any questions, but my lawyer recommended for nobody to talk about a lawyer. So I said, I was like, no, tell them you don't want to talk, tell them you want a lawyer.
Yeah, if there's any questions come up, they just call because they're allowed to. It's not something that I think I'm going to take a while on that. Put on budget, it's taking a while.
I'm just trying to back through the life so I make early and move that window into there. And then we barely leave the house and again, try to just go work for a little bit today and I can't even have a lot of it.
Did you utilize your friends pretty well?
I've been ignoring everybody.
Why?
I don't know. So we're thinking we have some time so just follow everybody out. I feel like I'm the most clueless out of anybody because I was sleeping and I don't know what happened and the investigators have told everybody else so much and everyone else has so much information that I don't know anything because they think it's me so they don't want to they're keeping information from me so I feel like I know the least out of anybody at this point. So I think they realize it's not me. I think they're looking in another direction now because they've been looking to someone to have nothing against it.
Yeah.
GPS towers and show my phone didn't leave that night, but like, I'm sure they even have ways to check the truck if you show the truck was after the whole night.
That's not of it, unless they have camera, that's the only way. The only thing that creeps me out is even my old thought is the dog took so long to find him. They need the trail from your mom. Did your mom walk from home the night before? Did she drive?
They walked in, so I found them there.
They found that walk. They found the walk. The dog walked up, had that. It took 2 hours. If the dog probably came up 7. They found him at 9. You know, they didn't tell me till like 2 hours after that.
Did they take you down to the...
11 o'clock.
Did you see me go down to the police station? Did you see them throw me in the car and take me down? No?
No, they took me in a car to my house, to check my house. Matt called me while I was at the house. He goes, they found something that could work, but they didn't say it was him, and at that point I knew, and they kept me at my house for almost an hour, brought me back to the police station, took me upstairs to a room, and it took another hour to tell me.
Very physical too.
The officers, I don't remember which one.
What happened with me is there was this one black investigator. He kept talking to me, just like, there's something you know, and you're not telling us. You gotta tell us now. He's like, now's the time. If you tell us now, it'll be fine. If we find out stuff later, you're gonna be in a shit ton of trouble. He's like, you gotta speak up now. Like, I'm telling you everything right now. Yeah, and well, then when he kept talking to me, the way, I can't explain it, the way he was wording things and talking to me, it really upset me. And then the 2 main detectives that we noticed, they came in the room and they told them, they were there, they were asking some questions. And I was like, why are you talking to me like that? Did you have time dead in the ditch somewhere? I could, and the fact that I said that before they told us to die, they used that against me later. They're like, how did you know that he was not dead in the ditch? And I was like, that's how that officer made me feel, the way he was questioning me like that. It was really shouldn't have been talking to me like the way he was talking to me. So I said to them, and I don't even know where he was found. Like, I would keep getting told different things. Like, first, when I went down to the front, there was a guy making a memorial. I was talking to the guy making a memorial. And he said there was 2 guys in suits in the woods, and there was one side of the body that was found over here in the woods. Like, right, like, on South Park, out on the street, right by where that tree memorial was, with the mulch. And we could have found the body from that. We were looking all over that area, and then we walked around.
I heard it was down the
So, I'm trying to think by Atlanta. Atlanta's just that stone thing, like there's like that little path.
If you go to the memorial, there's 2 like around that curve. We have that walkway, that little walkway. You go to that walkway, you go to the right, you just go down there. There's kind of a trail behind it, like a spin trail, it's weird.
They kept repeatedly asking me that I smoke cigarettes. And I was like, no, don't smoke cigarettes. You occasionally get drunk in the car, you just have a cigarette too. I'm like, no, I was like, no, I never smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes. I was like, is there anybody smoke cigarettes? I was like, my dad occasionally smokes cigarettes. And I was like, Sam's boyfriend smokes cigarettes. And other people I can think of.
I know your dad occasionally smokes.
Yeah, because I think they can bring up the cigarettes, so I don't know why. And then later on, they went and searched my apartment, the 2, while I was in the interrogation room, they searched my apartment, the 2 main detectives, and they were like, you sure have a lot, they didn't like them. I knew how broke I was, I didn't food shop, I food shopped day to day, like I would get the food for that day, like we would go to the grocery store and get dinner. Yes. So literally, me and my mom at dinner, we would go to this grocery store and get dinner and just get that meal. So the cops came up there like, the only thing you didn't have any food, the only thing in your fridge is beer. And I'm like, look, I don't grocery shop.
Where do you come here? You're not living down the street.
And like, you have swords all over your apartment. I'm like, they're just for show, they're not even sharpened.
They have room, in the room where you sit there upstairs, you have food and things on the wall.
Yeah, it was just like they're not even sharpened, they're just for show. And then they can ask me about this police
Even me, I'm just very,
I really didn't need to think single things today. Like,
there's days where I do that, and there's days where I eat the world.
I started having an anxiety attack earlier when I told you about that stuff. And I didn't want to take a call with an empty stomach. I had clip bars, so I ate half the clip bars. I got really overwhelmed. I just threw half the clip bar and probably 3 of the calls in the room. So I didn't eat the whole, I took really had to have a clip bar. So I just really had an appetite I wanted to eat or
For me, I just forget, like I'll put myself in like 4 of my feet tomorrow, and I just forget what it is. And it's like I have short-term memory loss. It's like kind of bad sometimes. But, I don't know. Oh, that sounds too sometimes. I'm too quiet. I don't like to talk. I don't do talking.
that's what council groups where they do certain kinds of talking that they come out of you. They're like that. Like Anne Marie recommended me a psychiatrist. She really highly recommends psychiatrist because she does. Yeah. Well, actually, Anne Marie wasn't charging me. She was actually attention. She was actually paying it for free. But the psychiatrist, she said she was recommending me this specific psychiatrist because she's very open-minded to the spiritual world, whereas most psychiatrists are very clinical and by the books.
Different kinds.
And I don't want somebody who's just clinical and by the book. I want somebody who's really open-minded with me. Because I was like,
well, and maybe someone that can help you out to do alternative to medication.
I don't want to sound like a crazy person, like bringing up these theories, but there's, in my room a week before, Bernie was sleeping on the couch, and you know how I told you I had problems with sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Where like, my brain's away from my body, so sleep I can't move, and I'd be like, always like, just trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember after a week before this whole thing happened, I was lying in bed, and I started getting sleep paralysis. I woke up, and I feel this energy just walking my door, and I felt like my mom's energy, kind of. It was like similar to my mom's energy. It was like you through the door, and it just came over me. And I was just sitting there trying so hard to scream for help. I was just really trying to scream for help, but I couldn't do it. I was just trapped and screaming to get out of it. And I woke up, and it's like, I hopped up, and I was just like, I remember, I was so freaked out when I was somewhere, and then it happened to me another time that week where I had a sleep paralysis, or what I think it wasn't as bad as that one, didn't get sleep. But I remember trying to start screaming for help, and then I got out of it. And I just don't want to, I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but it's like, maybe there's some kind of energy that guided him, or like some kind of like spirit of the lake that has an energy that's drawn. To me, that would be a very spiritual place. Like, I love that spot. Like, that's my favorite spot I've had in the house, just in that area. It's like, so energy, open field, the trees on the side. It's always been one of my favorite places to go. And maybe there's some kind of energy there that drew him there. Maybe something in my apartment that just like, maybe there's something a bit more paranormal about this. I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to sound crazy, because I was kind of like a loose for saying shit like that. But, and the detective also, before I even knew where he was found, I was telling the detectives that was my favorite place I've had encountered, that I love the other, and I go there all the time. And then they told me that they found him there, and I'm like, what the fuck, and they're like, no, so they just happen to, you happen to find your favorite place, like, you wouldn't want his spirit to be there. I'm like, I wouldn't put him there.
Another thing, I'm just creeped out this fact that this is someone else. And they weren't going to get caught. And I think, why not? Like, from their point of view, why not just make them disappear? And that way, like I would say, just looking at that, and just from being CSI, so it's like, if there's a person who actually gets us out of this, like any kind of family life, why make yourself at risk to be found?
How are you going to do a job that is a reference of anything anywhere?
And I just don't understand that. Like, that's when I went down and I just got so freaked out. I was just like, and I'm glad that he was found, because that's even worse to have a mystery.
Yeah.
But on unless I get face to face with the person who did that, and
No, I don't know, face to face with the person who did that, I would fuck them up.
I would know it.
I would go to jail for the things I would do to that person. It's great to find out there was a person who did this, and there's another release. I just hope I find them, find this person for the cops too.
Before they release to me, they're gonna, when they release to me, unless they don't have them in custody, then they'll release to me. So other than that, I'm pretty sure that at least they have me before they need it broadcasted.
I wouldn't just kill the guy. I would fucking torture him. Like, I would fucking strap him with his fucking fingernails off. Like, legit, like, fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like, with one line you don't cross and now it's one of them.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, even in this town, it's not, it's really very calm town. There's nothing really crazy that goes on in our town. And that's why you see the whole town is going crazy, because they're even in town.
And I think it's,
It's a very small town, and it's crazy how much people care.
and the one's
So
also,
they want to put their good input, there's no bad input.
it's really hard for me too, because he was under my care. Like, he was with me, and I was just protect him against anything. And, like, disappeared while I was sleeping. Like, what was it? I don't even know how I could have protected him, or what I could have even done. Like, I don't, like, I want to, like, start renewing my thoughts towards him, or like, when you're on that path, because if I'm not, whatever. There's just too many bullets, and so I don't answer questions. I mean, at this point, I don't even give a fuck if they just want to throw me in jail now at this point anyway. Or close to tell them. They literally want to be the worst thing, that's what they do to me. That's whatever at this point. At this point, I'm just like, fuck life.
This is the point where we pause it during the trial. The rest is going to be not this conversation.
All right, I agree with that. Right, members of the jury, then you've heard all of the portions of testimony we're going to play back to you. Members of there's an instruction I have to give you. Members of the jury, you have requested playback of testimony and evidence. The recorded testimony has been played for you. In your deliberations, you are instructed to consider all the evidence presented, not give undue weight to the testimony you have heard and seen played back. And with that, I'm going to ask you to return to your deliberations. I did. If there's a question, I'm going to ask you to go back. You can have your foreperson write the question down and then bring it back, okay? We just procedurally, that's the way we have to operate. What I was also going to ask, is when we break, we'll be getting together, not for any other reason, for our luncheon break at 12:30. And I did raise yesterday the issue of possibly coming back tomorrow for deliberation. So I would ask the foreperson.
Yeah, I've already discussed it with the group, and unfortunately, several people have prior commitments and obligations.
So we can.
It's going to be impossible.
All right. Well, that answers that question. And as to your other question, just ask the foreperson to send a note out and we can respond. All right. And with that, I'm going to ask you to return to deliberations. You can just leave the listening aid with the chair.
Sheriff Ward?
Yeah, sure. Do you want this one back again?
Come on, just.
Thank you.
When you get back, we'll probably break. I said, once you get back, we'll probably break. So, take pictures.
Well, I'm waiting.
No, no.
Okay. Thank you.
We're on.
Just one as well.
You're on record.
Yes, you are.
Right, counsel, I did receive a note from the jury. It reads, we need all of the audio and video evidence in the jury room. I did speak to counsel on sidebar briefly about this. Established case law in New Jersey makes it clear that they cannot have a machine back there because it would allow them to overemphasize one aspect of evidence. I will explain to them that because of the established case law, they cannot be given a recording device to play it back in the jury room. However, they have the right certainly to come back to the courtroom at any time, hear any of the evidence, and they can, if they wish, identify specific portions of the evidence if they wish to hear that again. Counsel, any comments regarding that?
No.
I don't have anything,
Please rise.
Just take your own chairs. Everyone, please be seated. Welcome back, members of the jury. I did receive a note from the court first. It reads, we need all of the audio and video evidence in the jury room. Now, the dilemma is, you do have the evidence in the jury room. However, this is, I guess, what the response is. We cannot provide to you a machine to play that in the video. We can't give you a video playback machine. We can't give you an audio playback machine. That's established by the Supreme Court under the rules of court. There's a reason for that. It's because there's a fear that some portion of the evidence may be given overemphasis. You have the right to hear anything, and if there is a specific portion of the tapes you want to hear, you can identify that for the court, and we can have that teed up and played for you. So you don't have to sit through and hear the whole thing again. But a portion can be played if you would so desire. You just identify that and come back. But as much as I would like to be able to give you a machine back there, we cannot do that under the rules of court. And
We just view the transcripts again. We just want to look through them again for one thing.
And here's the problem. The transcripts are listening aids.
Got it.
They're not in evidence. That's why I say to you, when you're given the listening aids, they're listening aids. And if you recall, when I gave my instructions to you, things that are, and they're marked for identification, but things that are not marked into evidence cannot be provided to you. What is controlling is what's on the video or the audio. Now, if there's some portion, after you discuss it, you want to hear again one aspect of the video and or audio. You can identify that for us, we can tee that up and play that for you. However, the listening aids are not netted, so that they don't get sent out, all right?
But can we have them right here, right now, just to look at really quick? Is that possible?
Well, I think what I have to do is ask you to go back again, and realize it's like a difficult way to communicate, but this is the world we live in. If you can identify what portion you want to hear, we can key that up, we can give you the aids, we can play that, we can listen to it, and you'll have the aids in front of you, all right? So I'm going to ask you to return, if you can just identify that, and we'll all sit tight and wait to hear back from you, okay? Everybody see.
Yeah, we'll get the laptop hooked back up, Judge.
Why don't you do that? There's maybe something they want to see. But I mean, you have to tell the officer to bring the call. I would assume they're going to be coming back pretty quickly. Michelle, you got both of them, all three.
Yeah, we have all three transcripts in the room, Judge.
You want one? Sorry, I'll take it. I already touched it. I was just going to hand it to you. I'm sorry. But then again, that's what... I know they're stained.
Have not, Your Honor. I'll take a look for it.
Well, wait, just speak to the sidebar.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's test it.
Sorry.
Do you mind if that's...
No slip in the bathroom. There was a lady that went to the third day in a row.
Yeah.
Calm down.
They're giving a full
Calm down.
You mean, do you, no, they just, what would you like?
That and I've also
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I figured that out and gotten it canceled a number of times.
Yeah,
I just want
that's another reason I always get it.
Well, no, I did.
Yeah, sure. And the ones
Okay.
all the way
Okay,
up
yeah.
back.
Okay, sorry.
It looked like someone had like a mild explosion, and it was just terrible.
That's right.
Hey, Joe. Did it look like Tom had left for the day? Did it look like Tom had left for the day? Or is he outside? Do you know? Okay, he's outside. You can't tell with Slack messaging. Oh. That's the thing I hate about the front row.
So accordingly, what I'm going to do then is we're going to stand in recess in this matter. I have another matter I have to resolve this morning. If and when we hear back from the jurors, then we will reconvene.
He has other matters that he can affect his
I yawn when I'm really cold.
You're really cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Now, if he asks me to look for something, I just don't want to broadcast.
Well, you're also nice. Thank you. What I think was I put it in my my wife put it in the door, so she was setting me up. He's a crime scene, right? Now to pick him up.
So, I'm sorry, Judge, what were you going to do first?
We're going to go reverse order of
Okay.
the
I would just put them both, because the 911 call is really little. And Judge, give me just a second. I will,
we send it back, I'm going to tell them that we just want to clarify exactly what we want to do. It takes us some time to get that record teed up.
I got it.
Got it?
no.
Still handing to the house. The answer is no.
No. Judge, if you want to, if you wish, you want to direct them, the portion of the request that begins on page 21 of the fact transcript.
Okay.
Okay? And let me just get that.
Thank you. The one that I can give you.
page first, then we'll do the 911, then I'm going to explain it before you even start. That for the first two items, we can need us, it's going to need a little more time for us to find those in the record. So we wanted to bring them out and plan that much. I'll send them back. And then by that time, the clerk should have teed up those portions of the record. All right?
Sure. The court wants to do the 901 tape first. I don't have a preference for that, but just because that's shorter, I'm okay with that too.
I think it's logical to follow, since we're going to follow some kind of order, we'll just follow the reverse order. I mean, they indicated they might want to go past 10:45 too.
Right, that's the only reason why I think getting the 911 tape out of the way, because it's only 3 minutes, it's over with, whereas for the second one, we don't know that it's going to end at 10:45. It ends at like 11:11. It just may make sense, but I don't have a preference for it. I'm just going to do it.
I think I'm just going to follow it. Okay, Ed. Plus, can you have a jury drawing?
This is Boston. I didn't. I wrote this one down, so it's in the transportation.
Stop and after this. Just a second. Or chiropractic.
Well, it's sort of just, yeah, because it was a sidebar, it was sidebar, and then right at the sidebar, you get the.
So Jane Point, this cross was 22 minutes approximately.
We'll have an opportunity to conference after we do this first portion, but thank you.
Actually, Judge, the three of us can approach it, you know, I can just let you know what my concern is.
Sure.
You want to hold the jury?
Yeah, I have no.
Yeah. Please rise.
All right, everyone, please be seated. Members, I received from your foreperson a note, purpose of the record of reading, evidence to review, testimony of location and view of video surveillance in neighborhood of crime area, cornerstone discovery testimony transcript about digital phone activity, friend, Facebook, Snapchat, from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., 10-12, PowerPoint presentation. 9/11 phone call, entire. Interview footage, 10:15 a.m., queued up from the notification to defendant of Brendan's death. And when defendant begins to explain the morning timeline, ended at 10:45 with option to keep going if necessary. I've discussed these issues with counsel, and some things are easier than others. The last two are extremely easy. We have that teed up, and we will play that for you. The cornerstone discovery testimony transcript, we have to, playback is a playback testimony. We're going to have to find exactly where that is on the playback and get that queued up for you, to play it for you. That's going to take us a little bit of time. And rather than delay things, I wanted to bring you out. And same with, and I'm going to ask after we play the first two, testimony of location and view of video surveillance, neighborhood of crime area. My recollection of the testimony was that Officer Rhodes did testify that there was an investigation done regarding video surveillance. Although my recollection is there was no video surveillance of the area that was shown. If you wanted to hear his testimony about that aspect, about what efforts they made to locate video surveillance, I'd ask you to clarify that after we play the first two, because I'm going to send you back into your deliberation room, and then we can clarify that aspect and then find that testimony if that's what you wish to hear. But be that as it may, the bottom two items are easy to achieve. The prosecutor, I asked the prosecutor to provide again the transcripts of the interview along with the transcript of the 911 call, because we'll have both of those teed up and ready to go. And what I'm going to do is, pursuant to your note, we'll start where there's a notification of Brendan's death. We'll then play it at 10:45. I'll stop with foreperson. If you can indicate if you wish to go further, we will. If that's sufficient, then we'll go to the 911. All right, with that, Mr. Moran, ready to proceed. Excuse me, is that page 22, I think you said?
21 and 22, Judge. 21.
I believe page for in the transcript, that's where we're going to begin with your instructions.
My best friend. I love him so much. Remember what happened?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out right now, okay?
Where was he?
He was found on the shoreline.
Was the shoreline of what?
River.
River? Oh, God. Was he your help?
What's that?
Did he your help?
Well, we don't know that this time. That's what we're trying to find out.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry.
What do I do? What do I do? Where's my wife?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No.
I know this is...
What did I happen?
I was just out there.
Where did he bounce?
We don't know that. There are a lot of questions that we need answers to. We need your help to find out.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I know this is very difficult for you right now. Alright? Well, we need to find out what happened last night as far as, with how the night progressed, okay?
Okay.
Alright? You need a moment.
I have anxiety.
Okay. You need some water or anything?
I have water.
Okay. Keep questioning. Try to breathe.
I can't.
I know this is hard. It's very hard.
Last night, my sister texted me asking me if she could get a bath. They just got a pub recently refinished. My sister was getting herself. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I brought him over there. They gave him a bath. And then they brought him back to my house. I said to him, what time do you bring him back? They said 8:30. Okay. I said, okay. Around 8:30, I went over to their house. Her parents said, my dad was there. They said, oh, they left. So I called my mom. She said she was at my house. I was like, okay. I went back to my house. They let themselves in. She went upstairs. And my mom and my sister stayed with me for 20 minutes. Until about 8:50. Okay. And we were just sitting there talking. And then they left. I read his bedtime stories. And we read 3 books before I let him go down to bed. Okay. I read the first book was Turtle and Turtle. And then Other Places You'll Go. And then it was The Lorax. Okay. And then I said to him, it's time to go to bed. And he looked at his bedroom, and I didn't know. I gave him the pillow. He said, no, I don't want it. I took his pillow, and I put it on the side. So I gave him his blanket, laid him down. I heard him battling in the other room like what he does before he goes to bed. And in the morning, I go to my room. I'm trying to talk to my girlfriend. She goes to bed, and I'm still trying to communicate with her, trying to call her and all this. And I didn't get a hold of her anymore. She went to bed. She was in New York. She goes to university there. So I went to bed. I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. I just go to check on him. He's not there. And I start freaking out, looking around for him. And then I call the cops. Okay. That's all the information I have right now.
I want to back up real quick.
Yes,
okay. You said your son went to your sister's house. Where did she go?
On Virginia Avenue, right down the street from me.
What's the address?
22 Virginia Avenue.
What's her name?
Sarah Creato.
Sarah Creato?
Yes, she's like a mother to my mama. He's with her a lot. She's like my main babysitter, and she's.
Okay. Now, who stays at Sarah's house?
My parents.
Your parents? What's their names?
Lisa and David.
Okay. Now, how often does your son go to your sister's house?
He goes there pretty regular. Like not regular. Like I have him Monday through Wednesday and every other weekend. I always bring him by to visit. So my mom watches him for me a lot when I go out with my friends. Okay. Or that kind of stuff. So he's over there pretty often.
Okay. Now, who do you live with besides you and your son? Is anyone else?
It's just me and him. Okay. My girlfriend comes and stays with me a few days on the weekends.
Okay. What about her woman? What's her name?
Samantha.
Where does she stay?
She stays with her parents on American Avenue.
On American Avenue?
Yes.
Okay. How close is that in relation to your house?
It's a couple. It's maybe a mile.
Maybe a mile? It's in that township?
Yes.
And how long have you been living at your apartment that you're staying at right now?
45 months. I've lived there since April 1st.
Okay. Where'd you live previously?
In Brookline.
In Brookline? Okay. What's your custody arrangement with you?
We don't do anything with court. We're doing everything we're just getting along with us. And I would get him. So I would pick him up from school on Monday.
Okay.
I would have him all day Monday. I would take him to school. Well, I would pick him up around 5 o'clock when I have to work on Monday. I would have him all night. I would take him to school in the morning, go to work, pick him up from daycare again Tuesday, do all day Tuesday, then I drop him off again Wednesday, and then Sam will pick him up Wednesday, and she has him throughout the weekend, or it's my weekend, I will have him throughout the weekend.
Okay. So you guys alternate?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see her? Are you guys married still?
No, we were just dating, and
Just dating?
we were together for 7 years.
Okay.
The relationship didn't work out. We got broken up over a year ago, but we get along now. We have no problems with each other. We communicate. We just try to make the best out of the situation.
Okay. Did you see her yesterday?
No.
Samantha at all? Did you see her?
Yes. Yes, I did see her yesterday.
What time?
Yesterday, I went to pick him up from her house.
I know this is difficult for you, but I want to get your timeline yesterday so we can figure this out.
Okay, so yesterday...
So, do you work right now?
Yes, I work with my dad.
Okay.
I went to work with my dad.
What time did you leave for work?
I left at about, I want to say 7:30 in the morning. I went to his house.
Okay.
We went to 3 different customers' houses. Yeah.
Oh, we
went to 3 different customers' houses, like 2 in Pennsylvania and 1 in North Jersey.
What do you guys do?
We're window roofing and siding.
Okay.
And it's my dad's company. He owns it, and they're having problems right now. I was helping him. We're just fixing some services from some previous customers.
Yeah.
So I said to my dad on the way home, let's go pick up. I went to pick him up because Sam had him yesterday because it was Wednesday. They didn't have school yesterday. School was off.
So
she was off.
I'm sorry, so your sister was watching?
No, Sam was watching.
Sam was watching while you were at work?
And
what time, how did she pick him up before
she
you
already had it. She picked him up yesterday Sunday around 1 o'clock.
So she picked him up Sunday and then she had him into Monday?
Yes.
Okay. Who had your son yesterday besides your Samantha?
So Sam had him, my mom and my sister had him for a little bit, and then I had him.
Okay. So Sam had your son over the weekend, okay, and then she drops him off to your parents' house?
Yeah, let's drop him off to me. That's 5:45 yesterday. I went to her house with my dad to pick him up. They went to their basement rebound, because Sam was thinking about moving down there, and into her parents' basement. They wanted to be finished. So my dad went there to measure some things in her basement. I went out to the car with Brendan. We went home. I spent some time with him, and then brought him over because my sister said she wanted to take a bath with him, or take him a bath in the hotel or whatever. So I brought him over there, and then he came back to my house, and that's
when you had him in your sure. I haven't been in your apartment. What's the layout of your apartment?
You walk in. There's the living room. There's a door right there. There's the bedroom, and the bathroom's right there.
Okay. Is it 1 or 2 bedrooms?
1 bedroom.
So where's your son's stay?
The living room is his bedroom.
Okay. Is it like a couch or is it a pull-out couch? What do you have?
It's a couch. She used to have a pull-out couch, but it broke, and I couldn't afford it, so I just have this like couch for it there. He's sitting on the couch.
Okay. All right. So you picked your son up from your sister's house. At what time again?
I went there to my parents' house at 8:30.
Okay.
I took my sister so she bring my around 8:30. I decided to go there again before they all went over. But then instead they came over while I was at their house. My dad said they left. So I saw my mom, and she was already at my house. They let themselves in. They went up to my apartment and were waiting for me. I went back, and they were all there.
Okay. So so your mom's there with your son. Okay. What time do you put your son to bed?
9:30.
9:30.
The stories around like 8:50, almost 9 o'clock, I would say. I read his 3 stories.
Okay.
And then I put him to bed.
Okay. After you put him in bed, what do you do next?
I went into my bedroom. I had the laptop open because there was some TV, but I decided not to watch it. I just closed it, put it there. I was like, trying to talk to my girlfriend, and I said, go to bed.
What time did you talk to your girlfriend?
I'm trying to remember that exactly. My girlfriend, I was talking to her probably around 8:30. We were just like texting, saying goodnight and stuff. She said she was going to bed early. She had a math test in the morning. I thought it was where she was going to bed at like 8:30 though.
Okay.
And then I kept trying to get a hold of her later that night because I just talked to her because I was just getting nervous that she was like talking to this other guy down at school. So I just kept trying to call her over and over again just to get a hold of her. Okay. And then I went to bed.
How long have you been dating her?
Like 4 or 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
How's your relationship?
It's a good relationship. She doesn't really like the fact that I had a kid at all. She had a huge problem with the fact that I had a kid with another person.
Okay.
And she's always fighting with me, and she's always like, why don't you pay child support and not have to in your life? I'm like, I would never do that. He's my son. I love him. He's always going to be in my life. You guys go to my phone and see all these messages where she's like, well, shoot, I'm like, I would never do that. And that's one thing that's going to breaking us up is she doesn't want to, she doesn't want anything to do with him or ever be around him. Like, she won't hang out with me if I have him.
Who's your girlfriend?
Joyce Betsy. But she's in New York. She has no idea her. She would never do that.
SPENSKY.
SPENSKY.
ENSKY. What's your phone number?
My friend's up there.
Okay, oh, we'll get it. And you said you've been with her for 4 months?
Yeah.
Okay. She lives in New York?
Yeah. At Case University of Denver.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 22.
Did see you, correct?
Yes.
Last name?
Creato.
Okay, did both.
6/29/93.
She's 22. And your girlfriend, how old?
17.
17. Okay. How about Samantha? What's her full name?
Samantha Ashley Donato.
What's her date of birth? No?
September 24th, 93.
Okay, so that means the same age, 22.
Yeah.
How did you meet Julie?
Tinder and online dating app.
Okay.
She lived in Easterville, Pennsylvania with her parents. We were talking over the summer. Then she went to her dorm room, left to live in New York for her first semester there, and still been talking, and we've been going up and down with our relationship. It was going to work out because she's far away, and she doesn't want to be with me when I have my kid. And she doesn't like the fact that I have a kid. We've always been breaking up over this a few times now.
When's the last time you saw her?
Last time I saw her was Monday morning.
Monday morning? Okay. And did she come down here, or do you go up there?
She comes down here. She always comes down here. She takes the train down to Trenton, and I pick her up at Trenton. And then Monday morning, basically every morning, I go and drop her off at the Trenton station.
Okay. So, how did you guys leave it one day? I mean, was she upset with you? Did you guys get along? Like,
we had a rough weekend in the beginning. We were arguing. We were really, we basically did break up, and we decided not to get together. She's really upset that I have two months that I have to still talk to my ex. She says she doesn't have something she could deal with being with me while I have this in my life. She didn't want that. She didn't want a relationship, but
how did that make you feel?
It makes me feel I didn't want to, this makes me not want to be with her either because I love my son. He's always going to be in my life. I'm telling you now. It's like, he's always going to be part of my life. If you can't accept that, then you're going to have to move on. And
okay. So that's how you guys left it?
No, that's not how we left it. We were fighting. That was probably Friday night. We were fighting really bad about it. Saturday in the morning, we were still arguing, but we worked out. We had a very good weekend after that.
So you picked her up Friday?
She said, yeah, she agreed that we're not ready to break up yet. She doesn't want to be apart from me, and she wants to stay in this relationship until she feels it's time to leave. And we're fine after that. And I wasn't making any problems with her.
Okay. So that's she leaves Monday morning.
Yes.
What time did you take her to the train station?
We left her around 5:45. We got there probably around 6:38, I would assume.
In the morning?
Yeah, in the morning. Because I take her before I go to work.
Okay. And you said your son was with your ex-girlfriend over the weekend?
He was with me this weekend, though.
He was with you? I thought you were Sunday he was with...
No, Sunday, Sam came up to pick him up around 1 o'clock from me.
Okay, well, that's important to know. Okay.
One of my good friends was visiting. He recently moved to New York with his girlfriend in upstate New York, completely up part of New York. He was down visiting for the weekend.
Okay.
And I wanted to spend some time with him Sunday night. So I asked Sarah if she would pick him up early on Sunday so I could hang out with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she picked him up around 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And my friend was over probably till about 10 o'clock at night. And
okay. Alright. Now, so you put your son in bed around, you said, what, 9:30? And you were on the computer briefly?
the first moment I was outside, I didn't want to watch TV on there, so I closed it.
Did you call your girlfriend at all around that time?
I was calling her on that, I guess.
Did you talk to her?
No, I don't know. I remember her just saying she was going to bed around 8:30, and we said our goodnights, and then I was trying to get up a little bit later.
Okay.
I know she has a math test this morning, as well. She said she was going to bed early.
Okay. So after that, what happens next?
After I just go to bed.
Okay. You go to bed, what time do you go to bed?
I probably went to bed, I would say probably until 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, you go to bed. Okay. You typically get to bed at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, that's usually.
You typically put your son to bed at 9:30?
Yeah, I keep it with a strict bedtime.
Okay. Now, do you get up at all in the middle of the night at all for any reason?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I don't wake up.
Is that through the bathroom or checking on your son? Like, what?
But yeah, so I'll go back and check on him sometimes. Last night I didn't wake up till about 6, I didn't wake up till about 6 o'clock in the morning when I went to go check on him.
Okay. Do you typically get up in the middle of the night, or is it vary?
It varies.
It varies? Okay. Now, tell me about, did you lock the doors last night at the house?
I can't remember. My mom said she locked the bottom door as she was leaving. I feel like I locked the dead door. I can't be certain if I locked the dead door or not.
Okay. Has your son ever left the house on his own accord? Like,
No, he always, every time we leave the house, he says to me, Daddy, can I open the door? Daddy, can I open the door? I'm like, no, wait till I'm ready to leave. And then as soon as I'm ready, he'll keep asking me till I'm ready. As soon as I'm ready, I'm like, now you can open the door. And then the door will go out.
okay. Is there any other exits in the house besides, like,
It's just that exit.
how about the windows? The windows go to the floor? Are they high up?
They're high up on the second floor.
When you got up this morning, were your windows open or are they closed?
They were closed.
They were closed? Okay. Now, again, I haven't been to your apartment, but are you on the second story or first story? Second story? Now, is there a stairwell to get up to your...
There's a main door. You go upstairs. There's my apartment to the right and another apartment to the left. You turn right and there's my apartment.
How many apartments are there?
There's a lot of apartments in that door. I don't know how many exactly. I just know there's two, that door, that common door, there's only 2 apartments out of it, so. And there's nobody in the one across from me. It's a vacant apartment right now. He's trying to rent it out. I think he's been showing it to people.
Okay. Alright. You saw your ex-girlfriend yesterday, you said?
Yes.
What time was that again?
It was around 5:45. I went to pick up Brendan. And then I had a check. My check I got from work. She needed money to pay his daycare. I got an amount of, I got a check for $400. I needed to give her $100. And she went and cashed the check because the banks were closed. And she went and she came back and gave me my $300. She gave me the money slip to give to school in the morning. And I just left.
Okay. How do you guys get along?
We get along perfectly fine.
Is there any issues regarding custody or anything like that?
No, not at all. Sometimes, like, I would say, like, we would change days. Like, sometimes wake up and I had him this day, somebody should like, I had him this day, and we would switch back and forth.
Okay.
We didn't have any problems with each other, though. We had a rough breakup. That was over a year ago. We got past that. We get along perfectly fine. She has a boyfriend who she gets along with.
Okay. So you guys are pretty good then? Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Now,
the first thing I did was go out to look for his bed. I noticed he wasn't in his bed, so I thought he must put it on the floor, because he commonly would go on the floor behind the chair. So I looked on the floor and I looked behind the chair, and I noticed he wasn't there, and I started really panicking. So I ran outside, and I looked down the street, so I called my mom. My mom said, call the cops, so I called the cops immediately. It was 602. 602. 602. I called my mom at 602, and I also called 602, I called Sarah at 603.
okay. So you called your mom at 602, and then shortly thereafter she told you to call the police?
Yeah. And I said to her, I said, should I call the police? She was, yeah. I called, I didn't know what to do.
Okay. And then you called your ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
After you called the police?
Yes.
What did you tell 911?
I said, my son is missing, I can't find him, I don't know where he is, and Al called me on the phone for a few minutes, and he said, we're going to send somebody out there. That was basically the phone call.
Okay. What did you do next?
I went outside, my mom came pulling up, she was like waiting there with me for the house pulled up, then Sam pulled up, and then the search started.
Okay. Did you participate in the search? Or would you?
Yeah, I was around looking around, I was screaming his name, I was looking for bushes, I was looking everywhere I could, and I told the cops that one of the common places we walk to is, we would be the walk my parents, or sometimes we like to take walks around the creeper.
Okay. Now, when you exit your street, where do you and your son walk along Cooper? Do you walk to the left towards Cuthbert, or do you walk?
When we go down the Cooper, okay, we walk up. There's all those trees, there's Edison Woods right there. We walk around, go through the big grassy field with the trees on both sides, and you take a loop around and then walk back.
Okay. Now, let me draw something for you.
Where was he found?
Well, I can tell you that in a couple of minutes. Just let me pull up the map, okay? there, so I want you to tell me where you guys walk, okay? Alright? Just give me a second. Okay, sure. Can we print the map off real quick? We'll be right back. Can you,
It's not real, friend. It's not real. Unfortunately, your son was found deceased. And again, I'm sorry, I can't imagine what you're going through right now. But I need you to answer a couple more questions first, alright? And that's difficult for you. Alright? Now, can you show us where you think your son on Cooper? And if you could draw X's for it as far as
we walk down Cooper and often I'll walk around and come back up this way.
Okay. Do you guys ever go down this way, or do you go down this way at all at any point in time?
No, I never walked down there.
Okay. Never go down there? Okay.
I only walked down this way like once or twice.
So basically you're saying right in front of Cooper Street, like on Park, right?
Yeah, I walked down Cooper and I walked back.
Okay.
And your house is at Virginia Cooper, correct?
Yes. Can you put next to your house is?
So that may not go back quite that far.
Does it go back?
It's 2 blocks before this.
Yeah, okay.
Get up there.
Alright. So,
This area, now take me through this here. You have Cooper Street and it comes down at South Park Drive. The street that crosses right there, you can probably just see it on the map. How do you get through? I noticed you're on the grassy area here.
It's all trees here. There's a big opening, and sometimes we'll walk through the opening. It's a big grass field, trees on both sides. And we'll walk in here and go back.
do you guys ever go to the water at all?
No.
Okay.
I believe on that once or twice I walked down that river.
When's the last time you did?
That's probably a week ago. More than anything, I go down to this area with my girlfriend.
A week ago?
She walked with us too, the one that whole time.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Did your girlfriend walk with you too?
Yeah, me and her go down to this area a lot, so.
But just two of you?
Yeah, and sometimes we go up to Edison Woods.
Were you about to say another time?
There's several times I walk with my girlfriend. I go there a lot with my girlfriend, but only a few times with friends.
And the very last time you were down there with him was a week ago?
Yeah, I feel like about a week ago. But, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Back to when you noticed your son was missing. Okay. Now, you say he sleeps on the couch. Is there a pillow, blanket? What do you have there for him?
There's a pillow and a blanket. He said he didn't want the pillow. I put the pillow to the side. He used a blanket.
Okay. Now, do you look in the house? I mean, where do you look? When you first notice him missing?
Where do I look? Yeah, where do you look?
Yeah, this is 10:45.
Okay. All right, then we'll play the night. You want to go? Let's go further then.
It's a small room. I just look on the floor behind the one chair I have inside. Sometimes you will go and see behind the chair.
Did you go outside and look for him?
Yes, I go outside.
Where did you look for him outside?
I just went up and down the street, just looked up and down, like down Virginia and Cooper, and then I noticed you went up, I immediately called my mom. Was the first person I called, and then the cops.
Okay, so you said you went down Cooper?
I didn't go too far. I didn't go like past my apartment. I kind of went down the street a little bit, both ways, and just looked.
Now, when your son's outside playing, where does he play out in front of your apartment? Where does he? Is he familiar with the? He's been there for 4 months, right?
Yeah, he usually plays in my apartment or go to my parents' house and play in their yard.
Okay. All right. But as far as Cooper, is he familiar with any besides the one?
I don't think he'd be familiar with Cooper at all now.
Okay. All right. So how long do you think you looked for him before you actually called him on the police? How long did you?
Just over 2 minutes. Really, I looked, so I wasn't there, and then as soon as I went outside, I started really panicking. I was in the apartment, and I called immediately.
Okay. How'd you think with your son last night? Did you guys get into were you ever upset with your son at all?
Not at all last night. We had a very good night last night. I read his 3 stories, and he didn't give me any problems whatsoever with that.
Has he ever given you any problems at all?
Yeah, sometimes, like, we got into arguments, and, like, sometimes I've yelled at him where he's been bad, but nothing to the point where I would ever hurt him.
I'm just trying to get how your relationship with your son is.
Yeah, we have a very good relationship.
When you get arguments with your son, what kind of arguments do you get?
It's just like he's not listening. Like, he goes down, tell him not to do that, and then he'd do it, and I'd yell, I told him not to do that, that kind of thing.
This is where it's all back.
No. He's actually a pretty well-behaved kid. He usually listens to it.
Okay. Alright. And you said you learned some stories last night before you went to bed.
Yes.
Okay. How does your son get along with his mother?
They get along very good, too.
Okay. How about your sister and your parents?
He loves them. He always wants to be at their house because for a while that was his house. Me and Sam lived there, and he kind of started growing up in that house. When we broke up, we went our separate ways and started going between houses a lot.
Okay. Alright. Now, son ever got any marks or bruises on him before? From falling or anything along those lines? Maybe he has like
marks, like be like fell in school or be accidents like solid.
Would you ever like slap him with a butt or anything like that if he acted out?
Yes.
Where would you discipline your son on his body before?
On his butt.
On his butt? On his butt. Anywhere else?
There's a few times where I wouldn't actually slap him, when he comes slap me, I would get my like I would all the time. I wouldn't actually slap him. That wasn't like a spanking. But sometimes because I would warn him, if you don't stop that, I'm gonna spank you, and then I would give him the warning, he still did it, he would get spanked, and nothing more than that though.
Okay. Would you ever you never struck his
I
face?
never struck his face, never. No, I've never hurt him.
What about his back? Have you ever struck his back at all?
No, I've never.
Now, I want to get your phone real quick. I want to jot down some numbers for your girlfriend and show me who you called as far as the time. Correct, okay? You got anything to ask real quick before I set it up?
Yeah, just, has your girlfriend met your son?
Yes, she's done it quite a few times.
Yeah.
But she usually doesn't want to come around when he's out.
And what kind of things does she say in relationship? You had mentioned she makes comments like what types of comments?
She makes comments like you have a kid with somebody else and you still talk to her and that really upsets her, and she'll even make comments sometimes like, oh, I'll even help you pay child support if you don't have to see him anymore, if you just have to come with her, like give her close custody or something. And she's like, people always work out differently to where you don't have to talk to the ex. And I'm like, this is my situation, and I was like, I have my wife alone, I would never, I don't have any need to do that. And then she would always try to always give me the ultimatum to choose, and I was like, I would never not stop seeing my son. I love my son, and I want him in my life. It's always going to be part of my life. And I was telling her, if she wants to be a part of my life, then she's going to have to, learn to like me.
When was the last time this conversation was?
This weekend.
And what kind of ultimatums did she give you this weekend?
That she was going to leave.
Okay.
But I told her I would leave.
When did she say she would leave?
It was just like Friday and Saturday.
And where was the argument taking place?
At my apartment.
And he wasn't around at the time?
No.
He was at Samson?
No, he was with my parents at that point. Saturday, my mom took him to the zoo.
Okay. What other ultimatums did she give you? Did you ever say any other details about that?
I mean, that's just the gist of it. I mean, she would never hurt him or anything. She just doesn't want him in her life. She would just basically say,
I don't get a good feel of, what types of arguments.
She would always just say, I want you in my life, but I don't want him in my life. One life comes with me, he's a part of my life. And that's basically all I say.
She wants you to give him off.
Yeah, but she understands that I'm not willing to do that.
Okay. I'm going to get your phone real quick. Honestly, I have the consent for you to look at your phone, so we'll sign that real quick. Alright, just with your call logs and everything, alright? Alright, just give me a second. Keep grab it. I didn't send it by the end. It's correct?
Yes.
And high school you're wrestling in?
CREATO.
Okay. What's your phone number?
601.
Was it?
014.
314.
1572.
1572. Is there a 10 on there?
No.
Is there a password though?
Oh, yeah. It's 5683.
Who's the carrier of that phone? Verizon? So is it Verizon right there?
Yeah.
Let me just see real quick. This is for us to look at your phone, okay? This is for me to look at your phone, okay? I need your consent to look at your phone. This is the time frames when you call me, the phone calls, just to verify everything, okay? Alright? I did agree to understand my constitutional right to refuse to consent to the search on my property which I exercise control of that search warrant. The right to stop the search at any time and the right to be present during the search. All enforcement officers would respect and refuse to consent to such a search, and anything uncovered by the search would be used as evidence against me or the party. Your Honor, Detective Lightwords and members conduct the complete search 516-609-314-1572 Verizon. I gave this all this contest and the CIA wishing to pay confidential guidance and investigation. I give this consent voluntarily without threats or promises. That's true. You can sign right there. Can you put down today is 10/13/15 and the time? At 10:50.
10:13.
Yeah, 10/13/15. The time's 10:50.
I don't know what to do. And you guys, another cop was saying that to me. The way he was like that to me.
What?
The way that cop was just like, if you have anything, it's just come back to you. He was saying that, so I knew there was a problem.
Realize that a lot of the folks that are around here didn't have the information, okay? And this is just found out, so they do these things all the time, so.
Can you come here? Your calls real quick. Okay, so 6:02, whose birthday?
So, Mom.
That's your mother?
Yep.
That's, what's your mother's name again?
Lisa.
Lisa? Julie's your girlfriend?
Yes.
Alright, so you called her 3 times yesterday. Can you click on your real quick? Prior to that.
These are the calls I made right before I went to sleep.
Yes, it's 6:03.
I even saw how hard it was on Brendan and me and Sam being broken up. That's why I even taking into consideration getting back with it for him.
Okay, so you call Sam, and at this point, are you looking for him? What, 6:02, 6:03, that's when you notice your son's missing, correct?
Yes.
So 3 minutes go by, and we call 911. In that 3 minutes, what were you doing?
I was talking to my mom.
Okay.
My mom came outside. Or she came over, she drove over really fast.
So 6:06. Okay, so you're calling Julie 9 times at 10:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so after you call 911, you call your mother, correct? 6:55? I know this is very difficult. There's questions we have to ask you to figure out what happened to your son. This number 609-685-9416. Who's that? That's a missed call. You know? It's me. That's okay. And then Sam.
And I went to bed after I finished calling her, trying to call her.
So you tried to call her 9 times?
I was being jealous because she went to bed and she was been talking to this guy at school and I was jealous and I thought it was weird that she was going to bed early so I could try to call her and then that's what I think her Snapchat all day.
So you're jealous of another guy?
Yeah, she was talking to. She said she's still friends with class, and I was just being jealous, and I got calling her. That was my reason for that.
Okay.
In looking at when you get obviously he's missing, you determine, at least in your mind, he's no longer in the house. What did you see as far as the two? Is there a door at the top of the steps? Yes. How do you think he got out?
If he was to get out, he would just open the door, he would lock the deadbolt and walk right out.
The door at the top of the steps was locked.
I can't remember if it was locked.
Was it shut?
It was shut, yes. I had a feeling there was a deadbolt. I can't be certain if I did the deadbolt or not.
When you say you can't be certain if you did the deadbolt, you're talking the door at the top of the steps.
Yes, the top of the steps.
And that immediately leads into your living room.
Yes.
The door at the bottom of the steps, is it a common entryway, or are you the only access?
It's a common entryway to the apartment across the street from me, and across the hall from me as well. But I don't think there's anybody living there right now.
Okay. Okay.
So, you said I'm sorry.
I just want to know, when we talked about these walks, and your son was 3, is that correct? And he was in school, a pre-K type thing. Do you do any other recreational activities outside of there? Did you ever learn how to swim?
I think he did take swimming lessons originally with my mom, my sister, but he didn't like it.
That was
a long time ago, but I didn't like it.
He's 3 now, so how long ago was that?
I was like last summer, I'm not exactly sure, sometime last year. I had to do like big swimming classes, but he really didn't like it. I didn't want to waste the money either. It was just way too hard, so I didn't do it.
Is there an area with when he left the house that he would be comfortable? Is there actually he would be comfortable to go? Is there anything outside of the house?
I don't know. I mean, we usually go, when we leave my apartment, we usually get in my car.
Never just hang up.
They never hang out outside of my apartment, no.
And from your house,
I feel like he does know how to get to my parents from my house. So when we drive, because when we drive the point, go this way, I'm like, yeah, this way. And then he always points the direction, he knows I'm going to be going. So it shows me he has a sense of direction.
And from your house, how do you get to your parents?
Drive right down Virginia.
If you're facing Haddon Avenue, to the right or to the left?
To the right.
You make a right?
Yes.
And then, how far?
It's 2 blocks over. But there's always, my car, I always park it next to my apartment on Cooper, facing Cooper River.
Right.
And every time I leave, I do a K-turn out, go on Virginia, and I would drive to my parents' house.
Okay. Good.
Is your son ever curious outside? Does he ever want to go any place outside?
He's very curious. He likes to adventure. He loves adventuring. He's very comfortable with any people. He'll go up to anybody and talk to them.
But just so we're clear, this is the first time your son gone.
First time he's ever tried to leave this apartment on his own.
What about the previous residents? Did they ever?
He was younger there. No, he never did.
Now, you said that you called your mom first, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then subsequently thereafter you called Sam at 6:03, and then for 3 minutes you call 911. I mean, to me,
no.
I mean, To me, no. I mean, to me, no. I mean, to me, no.
But I noticed he was in my apartment. If it's not in my apartment, I knew something was wrong. I had to call immediately.
Well, I mean, I have a child, and, you know, if he slips out of the house, I don't immediately panic. I look for him. I give it, you know, good 20, 30 minutes. I look at all the places that I know he goes to before I call.
But he's a 3-year-old. He doesn't leave like this, and I don't think he's ever going. I knew it'd be weird if he was not in that. This didn't sit right with me that he was not in my apartment when I was looking for him. It really gave me bad anxiety, and I didn't know what to do. And I called my mom, and then called the police.
Okay. Alright. So, when the police got there, what did you do next?
I talked to the officers, I walked around, was searching with them a little bit, and they told me I had to stay in the area, and then I kept leaving to go search different places, and they kept saying, I gotta stay here, and I stayed there.
Where did you go search?
Just around the block. I went up this way a little bit, and I went down to my parents' house a little bit. And then I had to use the bathroom, so they told me I couldn't use my apartment bathroom because it was a crime scene, so I had to go to my parents' house. So I went to my parents' house to use the bathroom, and I was walking behind Officer Colucci with a house I know. I was walking behind him, and then I went into the house, and I told them they could go to my parents' house and look. And I also followed the search dog for a little bit with the officer. I stayed behind him. He told me I had to stay behind him, and not to get too close. I stayed probably like 10 feet behind him. As they were walking, I walked with them for a little bit, and then I went back.
Do you have a vehicle?
I do have a vehicle.
What do you have?
I have a Dodge Start, but it's currently not working.
Where is
It's in front of my parents' house. It has an electrical problem that's causing it not to start. I had it at the dealership, they wouldn't fix it because it's not in warranty. So now it's just sitting idle in front of my parents' house. And I was using my dad's truck. Because I work with my dad, we go back and forth between using the truck, we usually work together, so.
Did you have your dad's truck last night?
Yes.
Okay. Where's your dad's truck at?
It's parked right outside all three pictures.
I'm sorry. What kind of truck do you have?
It's a Chevy Silverado, 2013, I think.
It's parked on Cooper?
Yes.
When's the last time that truck was operating?
I went there at 8:30 to go to my parents, and then they said, you're here, so I went back to my parents' house and parked it. Haven't touched the truck since.
What color is the truck?
Black.
It's 2013?
Yes. I think.
Do you have another access to another vehicle?
I mean, my mom and my sister would let me use their vehicles, but I asked them, yeah.
Is that the last vehicle that you operated?
The last vehicle I operated was the truck.
There's not another vehicle that you actually just parked at the apartments where you stay?
No.
Is there anything that you forgot to tell us that you think's important?
No, that's I gave you everything I know.
Are you sure you didn't get up at all during the
I
night?
didn't get up at all.
That's really important. I mean, we got everything out there right now.
Like, I'm pretty sure I woke up early in the morning, looked at my phone, and was seeing, like, I woke up on my phone, just like,
What time is that?
I don't know, it was like probably like a little before I woke up. I woke up at 6 o'clock. I woke up, had to go to the bathroom, I looked at the phone, I think I checked her Snapchat to see if there was anything on there. So she got a snap from somebody, and I put my phone down, like, went and checked it, and
Did you tell anyone else that you got up before 6 o'clock for your son or check on your son at all?
no, I didn't talk to anybody, nothing. I just woke up at 6 o'clock from work, I was half asleep, and I didn't think there was anything wrong. I was just really confused when I walked out there and it wasn't out there, and it just gave me anxiety.
Okay.
Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything at all the night, no.
Nothing.
No. I slept through the night. No sign of anything. Because usually when he's scared or something, or in the bedroom, he'll come knock on my door and just come lay in bed with me.
So you met Julie on Tinder?
Yes.
Okay. And she's 17?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And you were concerned that maybe she was seeing somebody else?
I think it's just she's just been talking to a guy who's a friend at school, and I just been getting jealous about it. So,
Did she say that to you, or how did you find that out?
because she's brought the guy up, and I was like, reading for myself, so I was like, he asked her to come to a couple class, and he asked her to take her out to lunch, and she said, no, my boyfriend, I know I still talk to class, I was just being jealous. And,
Okay, so she told you to ask me out for lunch?
yeah, and she said she's like, no.
Did she make it sound like a date or just like casual?
No, just like you wanted to buy her lunch for helping with the homework assignment.
Excellent.
Where does she go to school?
Pace University in New York City.
Pace University?
Yes.
You said she's in class right now?
Yeah.
Where does she live? She lives in PA with her family?
She lives in her dorms out in.
Oh, I know she lives in her dorms, but I'm saying, where's her family from?
Houston, Creato.
Does she have a secondary residence in Houston?
Her parents live there, yes.
Okay.
But she mostly stays with me on the weekends when she comes back. She'll usually come down Thursday night and then stay in my apartment Friday while I'm at work and then hang out on the weekends.
Now, is your son home when she's there?
No.
Is there any reason why your son's not there?
Because he's at daycare on Friday.
Okay, but through the weekend, I'm talking about the weekend.
During the weekend, he'd either be with me or with Sam or with parents.
How does Julie feel about your son?
She's not that she doesn't like him. She doesn't like kids, and she doesn't like that I have him with somebody else. And she doesn't want to be a part of that, being a family, and she doesn't want it in her life.
Okay. What does she specifically say? Like, I don't like kids. I don't. Why do you have a son? Or like, I can't deal with this. I mean, how does that conversation?
And she's usually good. So I'm like, I'm sorry. What are you going to do about it? It's not my fault. She's like, it's not that I'm going to do. It's your situation that I hate. She's like, she always says she hates my situation, and that general thing. It's always been breaking us up because she doesn't want. She knows I'm always going to have. Like, I would always have him in my life, and I wouldn't get rid of it for her, and she's always in that situation.
Okay.
But she wouldn't come down here. She wouldn't come down here and hurt him, or she wouldn't do anything. Like, she just didn't like what to do. She would leave me if she felt like it was something that was.
What makes you think your son got hurt?
Because I don't see him just walking out the door and just leaving and going all the way down to Cooper. That sounds so unlikely to me. The fact that he ended up down at Cooper is blowing my mind. Like, I don't understand. For one, it's out of character for him to leave my apartment. For two, for him to end up down there, it doesn't add up in my head. I don't understand, and I feel like that's where there's something wrong. I feel like maybe somebody could have came in my apartment. I don't understand.
Someone came in your apartment?
It's possible. Like, I'm saying it's not impossible. Like, it could have happened, and I wouldn't know. So they're going to show you the other possibilities.
You said your mom locked the bottom lock, correct?
Yeah. But also, that bottom door, if you don't close it all the way, it won't, like, you just pull and it'll open. And it's also really easy to break into that door with it locked. All you do is push something in where the hinge or the thing goes into the door. And it just pops it open.
Step outside. Yeah. So address this kind of issue. Okay. So we're ready to go through right now. Just give me 1 second.
We're going to now play the 911 case.
Where's your emergency?
Okay, I just woke up from a dream or something.
Okay, what's your address, sir?
It's 103 Cooper Street.
103 Cooper?
He's out. He's out, is he in there? No, yeah, he's listening.
Alright, and what's your address, 103 Cooper?
Yes.
And with him?
And Austin Hunter.
What is it?
Hunter.
Fantastic. And what's your apartment number again? Date?
6, yeah, I'm in date.
3-year-old boy or girl?
3-year-old boy. His name is Brendan.
Spell his name for me.
Brendan.
And last name?
Creato, Creato.
Okay, what'd you like to see him wearing?
He was wearing red pajamas.
Okay, and you didn't hear anything or see anything, nothing like that?
No, I just woke up and he wasn't in my phone. I don't know if he wandered out or what happened. I don't know if they're again. The door was locked. I guess he unlocked it and left.
Alright, and your address is 103 Cooper Street in Haddon Township, right?
Yes.
Apartment D as in dog.
Yes.
Okay, I already had the police on the way, sir. What is your name?
My name is DJ.
DJ, your last name?
Creato.
Spell it for me.
Creato.
And your phone number is 609-314-1572?
Yes.
Alright, sir, do me a favor, just hold on. I already had the police on the way, don't hang up.
Alright, thank you.
See if the police dispatcher wants to speak to you, okay?
Alright, okay.
Alright. Alright, stay on the phone.
Alright, the police don't go away. The hospital is locked and the body door is locked. You don't know locked the doors was what? I don't know what happened.
Members of the jury, we played those portions that we can readily play for you. As I indicated, we're going to have to tee up the other material. So I'm going to ask you to go back to your jury deliberation room. And I'm going to ask if you give us some specific guidance as to the first question, which was the testimony of location and view of video surveillance in neighborhood of crime area. And with that, I'm going to ask you to leave the listening aids getting your seat. One last thing. With reference to the evidence, any notes that you take, I'm going to give you an envelope. You can keep the notes in the envelope. It will be sealed and kept with the other evidence. If there's any notes left in the room on the whiteboard or anyplace else, I'd ask that they be erased before the end of each day, and any notes can be kept. This is going to be placed with the other materials. And with that, I'm going to ask you to return your deliberation room. As soon as we tee up here tonight, back to this with the hospital.
All right.
Everybody, please be seated. I think, as we were watching this, with reference to the PowerPoint, I would analogize that, frankly, to the listening aid. So I think the fact that they want to hear that, albeit it's not in evidence, I think it would be appropriate for them to look at the PowerPoint. And again, I analogize it to the listening aids, which are not in evidence and which they've reviewed as part of the feedback, which is one issue we discussed. The second issue, though, is the cross-examination. Can you, Deb?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you tee up just the cross-examination of Mr. Simpson?
Said you went under the cross.
Have a good day.
Mr. Ciccone, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. I just want to make sure I understand the background of how it is that you became involved in this case. You received an image of the cell phone, that's right? Correct, yes. And when I say image, I don't mean picture, right? When you say an image, when I say an image talking about this, we mean an exact copy of the RAM and hard drive and all that that would be yes. You didn't actually ever have the physical iPhone 6 that was taken to Mr. Creato, right? No. Okay. And as far as you know, the image, the copy of the phone that you received, was it complete or was information taken away from it by the police before you got it?
There were certain photographs, in my understanding, that were redacted or removed from the report that was ultimately issued to us for examination, to me for examination.
Okay. And do you know, sir, how many images, how many photographs there were on the phone total?
I don't know the total number.
Do you know the number that was on it when you received the redacted version of the phone?
The redacted version of the phone contained no images, and we were given the picture that I referred to. I think it was IMG2683.jpg was the name of the photograph. We were given that for examination.
Okay. So the only photograph that you received was the one that the police picked, or the prosecutor picked, and gave it to you to do your examination?
Correct, yes.
There was no other pictures on that copy of the phone?
Not on that copy.
And is it fair to say that besides photographs, pictures, anything else that may have been taken off that phone or put on that phone, you wouldn't know until, you wouldn't know because you don't have the phone to compare it to, right?
Correct.
The two slideshows, I guess, the presentations that Mr. Ware had over with you, did you prepare those? Did the prosecutor prepare those? Did you work in conjunction to prepare those?
The very first presentation was something that I prepared. The second presentation was something that I assisted someone in Cornerstone to prepare.
Okay, Cornerstone's your company?
Yes.
And you then sent that to the prosecutor and said, this is the information that I think is helpful for the prosecution of the case. And if I understood at the end there, Mr. Moran asked you on that second 300 slideshow, that information from whatever time on October 12th to the morning of October 13th, that wasn't all of the activity on the phone, right?
Correct.
It was select text messages, telephone calls, Snapchats, Facebook web history, stuff like that that you picked that you thought would be helpful.
Correct. Probably the most relevant.
So it's fair to say then, if in the middle of the night there was a Facebook login, you would have included that.
Correct.
Or a web search in the middle of the night, you would have included that, right?
Yes.
And there is nothing like that, right?
No.
So from, we'll say, after 10 o'clock or so, and to 6 o'clock in the morning, the activity as you see it are these snaps, the Snapchat stories that they just have, right? Correct. Okay, I want to get back to those. But first, the Facebook logons that you went through, there were 5 of them or 4 of them, does that sound right?
Some were login from scratch, some were re-authentication with a cached username.
When you say re-authentication, the person's logged in, isn't looking at that web page, and then goes back to it?
It could go back to the home page, and then you would select something. It's not authenticated, but it authenticates because the credentials are cached or saved.
Already in the phone?
Correct.
Okay. There was one at 6:03, from 6:03 to 6:04 at night, right?
Yes.
One at 7:32, and that was under a minute, right?
I believe so.
One at 8:57, that one was under a minute, right? From log in to log out.
I believe so. I have to check the Facebook records to be sure, but That's my recollection.
And the last one was 9/22. My point, Mr. Corno, is all of these logins are less than 2 minutes, minute and a half, maybe under a minute.
They were fairly short in terms of, if you take when a login happens and a subsequent logout happens, I don't recall them being, hours and hours of activity.
Well, it's more than that. It's not just that it's not hours and hours of activity. It's not even minutes of activity, right? The times that were on that slide presentation were accurate, right?
Correct. So it's more consistent with someone checking for something new, a notification, seeing the number of messages that are over. So if there's no messages, there will be no reason to stay on. So it's more consistent with checking for some type of update or something like that. A new message, new post.
You had the opportunity to go through all of the text messages on the phone, right?
Yes.
Okay. And some 2,500 or so were read earlier in this case by two assistant prosecutors, and you read quite a few today. Those aren't all of the texts.
That's correct.
And those also aren't all of the texts between Mr. Creato and Ms. Stenson, right?
Correct.
There are a number of instances where it appears a later part of the message comes before the earlier part of the message. You said that's because of the character limit on SMS?
Yeah, so SMS, when it's actually sent, if you're using SMS protocol, if it doesn't get converted to an MMS, a multimedia message service, it's typically where you attach a picture or something like that. If it's strictly SMS, and I find this happening often with, particularly with iPhones, and not so much with Androids, it will break them up into pieces and I guess do as good a job as it can in sending them out sequentially so they hit the phone at the proper time so everything flows.
Those would count as separate text messages, though, for when you're counting how many texts there are, right?
Yes, it would actually.
And sometimes we see that two text messages come through seemingly identical at or around the same time. What causes that?
It's, from a technical standpoint, I can't say how the server handles it. I can only say what I found on the phone, and there were two separate entries for the same text message. So, could it happen at the server from the service provider? Possibly, not getting a return saying I received what you just sent me, and it sends out a subsequent message. It would really be a guess why there would be a duplicate.
But it's fair to say that 1,000 or so phones you forensically examined, this isn't the first time you've seen this.
Correct.
It's pretty common.
Yes.
Okay. And again, those would count as separate text messages when you're saying how many text messages a person sent or received. Right?
Yes.
So, with the iPhone 6, there are apps that a person can download, right?
Yes.
And do you know how many apps this particular iPhone had, Mr. Creato's iPhone had?
It's some are stock that come with the phone, and some are added from the Apple Store.
If I told you it was 98 or so applications, does that sound about right?
I was thinking, high 70s, somewhere around there is my recollection. Yeah.
And that's not uncommon either for a person who uses an iPhone?
No.
Okay. You said some of these applications are stock, which means they come with the phone, you can't get rid of them, right?
Yes.
And then some, like Facebook or Snapchat or Skype, are applications you can download if it's something that you want to use, right? All of these applications are really just ways to access the internet from a mobile phone, just in an interface that's the application, right?
That's exactly it.
But you're still going on the internet when you do it.
Correct.
And for many applications, if a person has opened the application and doesn't log out and presses their home screen and goes back to that main iPhone page, that application can still run in the background, right?
It can.
Okay. And that is true of the mail application, right?
Yes.
The Maps application, right?
Yes.
And that is also true of the Snapchat application, right?
Yes.
And for a lot of these applications, I'm correct in understanding that they have what are called notifications, which means if there is something new on the server, it'll be pushed to the phone, right?
Yes.
So even if I don't actively check my email, I can get an email on my phone.
Correct.
Even if I don't actively check my Facebook, I can get a Facebook message and a little red number 1 will pop up next to it and I can say, I have a Facebook message, right?
Yes.
And that's also true of Snapchat, right?
True, with the exception of stories.
Okay. But instant messages on Snapchat would push to the phone.
Yes.
As long as that person's logged in and the phone is on and connected to the internet, whether it's 4G, 3G, or on a Wi-Fi, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does that mean that these applications, and particularly Snapchat, automatically refresh themselves as long as the phone's connected?
At intervals, whether it's set depending on how everything's configured, you can either be based on time or when on the server side, if there's a notification or if new information arrives, it'll send that notification to the phone so the user can be put on notice that something new has arrived or something has changed.
Okay. And then when you download it to the phone without the user actually doing it?
In some cases it's a notification. You still have to go and pull it down for that to happen.
Okay, but like a text message or an instant message, that would just pop up on the phone without the user doing anything, right?
Text messages, yes, and most instant messages, yeah.
Okay. The email that you said you associated with Julie Stensky's Facebook and Snapchat account, where was it that you got that email? Did you get that email from Facebook, or did you get the email from the prosecution?
So it came in Facebook. There was also, I remember reading a text where Mr. Creato asked what Duomo was or what it meant, and ultimately confirmed, by the prosecution.
I'm not trying to suggest to you that that's not her email address. I'm just trying to make sure I understand how you got the information. Was it from one of the subpoenas, the information that you were given? Was it something you requested from the prosecutor, or was it just something you saw on the phone and were able to put two and two together?
I was able to put it together through the contact list. It'll have Julie Stensky and the email address associated with it. I got it from the Facebook records, and when I did a search for Duomo and see if there are any more references to it, is when I came across the text message between Julie and Mr. Creato asking what that matter was.
Now, you discussed private browsing.
Yes.
That's when a person says, don't copy any of my emails, right?
Yes.
But even if a person did that, their carrier, their cell phone carrier, would still be able to see what they're doing, right?
They're the ones routing traffic. Some, from my experience, or I should say most, aren't paying attention, so to speak, to where you're going unless it's something that they need to watch.
Right. But the answer to my question is yes, they can still see it. There's no hiding your internet activity from the connecting service, whether it's Verizon or T-Mobile or anybody else, right?
Correct.
All it does is it just doesn't save it on the phone.
Yes.
And if a forensic examiner such as yourself cared to, he could look at the phone's data usage and look at the web history and make a determination of, yeah, there was private browsing or there wasn't private browsing, right?
Private browsing is a little more. Private browsing specifically would be a little more difficult to determine because you would see activity. How much would qualify as private? Which is why if we don't see, we only base our examination and opinions on what we do know and what we do find. So if I were to say there is private browsing taking place, that my part, I believe that would be speculation.
When I began questioning about private browsing, how do you satisfy the report stop there?
All right, that's 309. So basically, it takes us from, and the first 4 minutes when you were talking about the pictures, I don't think that's relevant to this.
Yeah, I agree.
So we would go from 359, 259.
I think I saw the report as the clerk. I started about the slideshow. Yeah.
It would be from 259 to 309.
Yes, sir. Right.
Then can we Mr. Moran, how long is it going to take to play the PowerPoint request that they have?
That portion, I would imagine, is probably around a half an hour.
Matt.
Good.
Well, maybe they'll clarify what they want. As I said, there's a video. You mentioned it. And I think sometimes people will say, you mentioned video.
So what made me think they only want to side on this? It says a neighborhood. They have a master.
For sure.
Yeah, we moved it in.
That might be pushback. But yeah, what we'll do is, I'm bring it up to the playmakers. I mean, it's a lot of smart.
Yeah, I just didn't want to
to clarify that one question, we're going to wait for the clarification. If we don't get clarification at the end of the court day, we're just going to send the jurors up, we'll do the readbacks on Tuesday.
Your Honor, question?
Just trying to keep you up to speed.
Would you like to say on that?
Meeting protocol.
Hold up, real quick.
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I wanted to see. You know, yeah, I just want to see if it was listening. A little bit. Okay, this is, yeah, this is what mine looks like. Like when I have a screen with this, I can pull up which one is it scan. Okay. I go and push this out, and then I'll highlight this where I'm
Yeah, the time. Yeah, and then if you give it to me, I can just click on that time.
All right, very good. Thanks.
My question, do it. Fire the judge will not go. Fires the place. Just trying to figure it out.
Was the time?
Yeah, exactly. There are two additional notes that were provided. The first reads, was there any evidence that depicted where the surveillance cameras were? The second cornerstone, we would like to see the testimony that coincides with the PowerPoint from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. that explains defendant's application activities, specifically chat stories, text, etc. 10:12 to 10:13. I think we discussed both these notes with reference to C9, which is the cornerstone testimony. I will tell them we have that teed up. They have a right to hear the cross-examination, which is what we were identifying, and that will be played in that first thing Tuesday morning. And with reference to the evidence that depict where surveillance cameras were, again, we discussed that. If you could identify Detective Rose's testimony, perhaps share that with me.
Yeah, Judge, I'll listen to that tomorrow. And it's during the course of that he references that map that he made, that he showed where all the video cameras were located on Haddon Avenue.
You can identify it. That's an evidence.
It is an evidence, yeah. I'm not quite sure what the exact evidence number of it is, but it's an evidence.
You can identify that, and we can reference that with his
Okay.
testimony. Counsel, I don't know, after you hear the testimony, if there was any cross dealt with that, because they simply went.
I don't recall it, I will review it and I'll have an answer for the court. I'll be able to tell the court exactly where it is.
Thank you. And finally, before you leave, I asked my clerk to just give us these, because the jury's been brought around, I didn't want to make them wait. As soon as they come, I'm going to discharge them and explain why there was the delay with reference to the cornerstone this afternoon, and tell them we'll see it bright and early on Tuesday. Get this right. On Tuesday the 30th. We don't go on Tuesdays and Wednesdays since we don't have a Monday next week. Everyone please be seated. Members of the jury, I received notes. I apologize for the delay getting back in here. With reference to the cornerstone testimony, which we do have teed up and ready to go, the problem is it would take us too long for purposes of today. One of the reasons for the delay is we wanted to identify those portions of cross-examination that dealt with that also. The defendant has the right to have you hear cross-examination that will deal with respect to that issue, so that's all prepared and ready to go. With reference to the other question about surveillance sites, we'll have that testimony lined up, and we will play that first thing when you return on Tuesday morning. Since we're not going to be together again for some time, I have to give you my instructions as to the end of deliberations. We are recessing for the day. You must cease your deliberations until you return here on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. I instruct you at which time I will instruct you to resume your deliberations in accordance with the instructions I've already given you. In addition, I must remind you of my previous instructions. You must not discuss the case among yourselves or with anyone else. You must not discuss the case with your fellow jurors until you return and are instructed by me to resume your deliberations. You must not communicate with anyone about this case, either in person or telephonically, or through electronic means such as texting, emailing, tweeting, or on Facebook or any other social media. If anyone attempts to communicate with you about the case or discuss the case with you, you're not to discuss it with your fellow jurors. Report the matter to me immediately. I will deal with the situation promptly. You must not read or have anyone read you in newspapers, news stories, or articles about the case in print or in any internet or in any blog. Do not read, watch, or listen to any media accounts or coverage of the case, and do not listen to anyone else discuss such accounts. You must not read, research, or investigate anything about the case or any persons, places, or topics related to the case. This prohibition applies to printed reference materials as well as electronic media, and includes searching the internet for blogs, tweets, Facebook, or any other social media. When we return on Tuesday morning, do not commence your deliberations until you're directed to do so by me. When you do return, you'll be taken into the jury deliberation room. Once we have all the deliberating jurors together, we'll get you back out here. We will play those things you wanted to hear first thing in the morning, at which time you can resume your deliberations. Do not discuss or deliberate on the case. You cannot discuss or deliberate on the case until all the jurors are together, which is the deliberative process. And with that, I'm going to wish everyone, we're not going to be together for, again, in several days. Remember my admonition, again, there may be some curiosity. There is media, obviously, avoid reading any of the media. When we get together again on Tuesday morning, we will be in a position to hear what you requested and proceed on with deliberations. We do have a holiday between then and now. Wish everyone a very good Memorial Day, good time. Hopefully the weather will be nice. It's not close to big, but you go to a picnic, and then I will see you bright and early on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. With that, thank you very much.
All right,
Everybody have a seat. You have a copy of those. If you listen to Mr. Deckenroad's assessment, you can just advise where it is, what it is, and we have that note, so we'll be ready for position on Tuesday when we go home. All right?
Okay.
And with that, everyone have a great holiday.
Thank you.